You probably haven't seen it, guys, but I'm not talking about this here today. This is the greatest thing ever, okay? This is the funniest TV show in history. Yeah, it is really wild, okay? This is, oh yeah, this show is so crazy. Extra funny to me, knowing this is supposed to be a real dramatic scene, and in my head I keep thinking, even if I know it isn't, I keep thinking it's a parody, but it isn't. Yeah, but I love this sport now they totally change who they're aiming at. It's like 30 people with guns. So the daughter is being buried, right? So that's why she's crying. But look at this in here now. She's being buried alive! Her daughter is being buried alive, and the mom, no, she's like, don't! And she's not laughing! And it's not the grandpa, it's also like an actual scene. This is not, yeah, but it's out. Yeah, and her face goes out, and she's all bruised. So here, mom, right, can capture her boyfriend sitting on her. Yeah, now she's like, you bad, and then she beats the crap out of her! And she's like, yeah, she's like, oh! You probably haven't seen it, guys, but I'm not talking about this here today. This is the greatest thing ever, okay? This is the funniest TV show in history. So, hello everybody, today I'll talk about something else, because I got onto that rabbit hole. You probably haven't seen it, right? It's a few days ago, this thing popped up on Reddit, which was on Reddit first, and it's like the funniest scene ever, where everyone has a gun in the TV show. Every goddamn character has a weapon, right? Everyone like pulls off the gun and it's like, no, I think you can try. Like literally everyone. This is my favorite when the old man picks it up from the other pillow. So this show is called Wildflower, and yeah, it is really wild. Okay, this show is so crazy. So anyway, yeah. So a few years ago, right, I saw this thing popping up over on the internet, and I just laughed immensely. This is so funny. This scene is incredibly hilarious. Like literally every has a gun, right? And that made me interested. Okay, Filipino television show. I've heard about like Mexican kind of like similar TV dramas, right? Soap box or whatever. So I went into it, guys. So I'm gonna do a video here. I'm gonna react to this scene about. There's some other wildflower scenes. They're all insane. And then I've been sitting for a few days now, like going over different like Filipino shows, and they're all insane. Like they are batshit crazy. Like all of them are batshit insane. They're like the crazier than the last one. And I found one scene. What's it called? Like Lisa. So you can give an example, right? One thing that's so funny too is that he's always like, oh, this woman is actually married, her ex-wife is this thing, and then the main character is, half sister with this character. So I mean, like I said, I know about Mexican, right, television, right, and they're also kind of crazy, but the Filipino ones are like the Mexican times 10. It's like, everyone's always related, and someone's mom and someone's daughter, and everyone is like half sisters and brothers with everyone, right? So anyway, let's look at this scene here. This scene has become a meme now, right? And, this is crazy, okay, so go from the beginning. So the lady puts the gun, right? Yeah, they put a gun, and then he has a gun too, because we have a gun too, baby, and she has a gun! And then this is the main character, okay, so this is the main character, right? So I have watched this show now, seriously. I've sitting down and I've watched a few episodes of this show. And this then, his name is Ivy, and you can hear the name already, right? Ivy, it's quite kind of like, okay, she's an evil woman, right? Wildflower, and again Ivy, it's a good name honestly, yeah, like Ivy, Wildflower, you could have a team there. She basically is, this is some kind of weird like murder revenge porn show or something. I mean, I'm not saying it actually has any sexual stuff, even though there's a lot of, well actually she does get hard in one episode. So yeah, this is a really weird thing. It reminds me of You Spit New Grave, okay? Spit New Grave is this old movie where a woman gets assaulted, right? She gets hard and so on by a bunch of guys, and then she takes revenge. Right? This is kind of what this show is like. Every episode, something happens to her, or someone shoots her. We come into later where she gets buried alive. Like seriously, we come into later, there's a scene where she gets buried alive by her mom. I think this is her mother, and she laughs at it. If we come into it later, this is so crazy in this show, okay? But at this first scene here, she puts the gun, she ever has the gun, she also has a gun. This scene is so, and I love this is the best part. The old man has a gun under the pillow. This is like a father or something. He's like the president. Yeah, he puts up the gun also. He's like, I also have a gun. And the best part though, what I'm interested in this scene is that when I watched the scene, right, it reminded me of, but it reminded me of Kops. This here is Kops, it's an old Swedish comedy movie. You can see the guy has the gun next, he has the gun in his, male part. Yeah, you get the point, right? So the first thing I think was so funny with this Filipino show was that I think me, and when this meme put up, what we call it, right? I think me and other people knew Paul as well, right? the comment below, guys, is that I thought it was a parody, you know? I thought about this in the Kops. I was like, oh yeah, but this scene is a parody, right? It can't be a real scene, like it's sarcastic. It's everyone has a gun. The grandma and grandpa and the children, everyone's like, gun, gun, gun. Everyone has like a gun. It's a Filipino stand-up. I was like, okay, but clearly it has to be some kind of sarcasm, right? Some kind of joke. But the funniest part, it isn't, right? So I watched this show now, and I was like, oh my god, no, this is a serious scene. Every person in this is an actual dramatic scene. It's supposed to be dramatic, but I'm just laughing at it. Yeah, I'm watching the thing, and I think we're always laughing at it, right? But it's even funnier now when I know this is an actual scene where this is like every episode is like this, okay? This is probably the most iconic scene, but like every episode gets worse and worse. You're like, no, this can't be a real TV scene. You can't have a scene where like every character has a gun on them and they have like a stand. Of course, no one dies, okay? Spoilers. This happens like literally every episode, something like this. This, of course, again, is the most probably the biggest scene. But every episode, they have like someone having a gun, destroying someone's house, destroying the statue coming later. And it's just how it is. It's like but that's why I think it's so extra funny. It is extra funny to me, knowing this is supposed to be a real dramatic scene. And in my head, I keep thinking, even if I know it isn't, I keep thinking it's a parody, but it isn't. It's supposed to be like dead serious. It's like, will they shoot everyone? You know, will everyone die in this scene? That could never happen. Yeah, but I love this part now. They totally change who they're aiming at. It's like 30 people with guns. It's like a 30 everyone. So now it's like, who should I actually aim at? Yeah. Now they're trying to like team up. It's like an alliance. Yeah. Okay, so this now here is another scene from, again, Wildflower. This scene is really, okay. This show is crazier than any anime I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy. I mean, I've seen a lot of weird stuff in my life, and I watch a lot of Japanese television, and I mean, like, you know, Japanese commercials, they're crazy. But this scene is just unheard of, okay? So this scene is almost better than the gun scene, because I don't understand, okay? I watched a couple episodes. I don't speak Filipino, but they kind of speak English/Filipino. This is like and also it's a dub of this TV show, but I think this is her mom or something, or her adopted mother. It's really confusing because the main character is an orphan, but really isn't. So I think this is like supposed to be her mother and her. This is another scene where she tells she's proud of her or something. So they have this like weird, like the hatred rival thing kind of going on. But I think it's her mom or something like that, or supposed to be. And she hates her daughter. But anyway, so this in here now she's like crying because her daughter is being buried, right? So that's why she's crying. But look at this in here. Yeah, because she's being buried. Yeah, so because she's being crying. But she's being buried alive! Her daughter is being buried alive! And the mom, now she's like, don't bury her, you know? The mom is like, no, don't bury my daughter alive. Oh, and then she's not laughing! And then it's the grandpa is also laughing. This show is so weird! This show is crazy! It's like, yeah, I think it's her mother. It's trying to stand in Filipino. So she's standing there crying, right? When they're burying her daughter alive. And then she's like, yeah, she fake, but it's all crocodile tears. And it's not laughing instead. If you see your daughter trying to get out, get out from the coffin, and also blindfold her and so on. And she's trying to get outside the coffin. And then we go back here. This is the grandpa. He's at the lead. Yeah, he's a patriarch of the family. There's a scene that every woman is. There's a scene where he says that every woman to his daughter or his granddaughter, whatever, some other woman. He tells her that every woman is stupid. Every woman is born stupid. So yeah. So he's a family patriarch, and he's standing there laughing too, and they're burying her alive. He's like, now we got her. This is always insane. Now here in this scene, she hates her grandpa, I think he is. I don't understand, honestly. I think it's grandpa. I used to point out here, right? This Swedish show actually is really, really bad, right? Okay, so I watched Wildflower enough episode, right? I sit here, I go down the rabbit hole, guys, and watch Wildflower. This scene is terrible because it takes forever. You know what I mean? This is the issue, right? Yeah, this TV show is so crazy. These Filipino dramas, they're completely, as I said, batshit insane, right? And they're hilarious and they're crazy. The problem though is that watching the clips works, and they're really, really funny. I recommend it, really funny. But try to watch the actual show like this in here. It actually is pretty terrible because now it takes her like 10 minutes, right, to sledge the statue, and it's like dramatic music being played and so on. But it takes forever. You know what I mean? Like here, you as a kid watching these shows, I guess, on TV, the Swedish ones. similar thing, right? The pacing are, you know, insane. People complain about anime pacing in One Piece or whatever. Yeah, this is like the One Piece pacing now. You're like, oh my god, it takes like 10 minutes to do with the hammer thing. He stands there, launches the hammer. So a problematic thing though is that, yeah, it takes. It obviously is incredibly slow paced, right? And then it has absurd, you know, like dramatic scenes every now and then. But it basically, if I had to review it, I would say that every episode has like one of these like super crazy scenes, right? But the rest of the, you know, the runtime is like pretty boring. Yeah, those two course eventually break the statue, and then she's crying. I don't even know what she's crying for. I don't even know. I mean, she hates him, I guess. So it's like, it's very emotional of her to do so. This is one thing with this show, okay? Everyone is always so incredibly emotional. So now when she's like, I have to destroy his statue, and then she's like really tearing up here. There's no one else there. I don't know why she. This hit is great, okay? Here we go. He's like, women are, yeah. So yeah, this show is crazy, right? So of course, yeah, like as I mentioned earlier, right? Yeah, the grandpa hits her father, yeah, and they have a dub, right? As you hear in English, the grandpa is like, women are. Yeah, I don't want to repeat it, but seriously, you know what I mean? He's just like, women are. Like this show is clearly, everything is so absurdly over dramatized. Of course, grandpa, the patriarch, is like, women are lesser beings. Yeah, your IQ is all 20 high. Yeah, it's crazy. But look at some other Filipino shows. Okay, so this show is called ICA 6 Utos, if I remember correctly. So one thing that's very clear for me watching Filipino shows now, because I'm turning into a Filipino fan now, right? Is that they're all about revenge. So I said earlier, they're all about revenge, murder, you know, revenge porn murder thing, right? Where someone is like, oh, you ordered me 20 years ago, so I killed your daughter or something. It's all about. So this woman here, she's a scorned woman, right? And then she gets into a fight with one of her arch enemies. Of course, this is a year later after the revenge. So again, this is an actual scene. This is not, yeah, but this is an actual scene, right? And this is what I think they're so Batshit crazy too, because you're watching this stuff, right? And I just can't stop laughing at it, because, you know what I mean? If I was a director, of course, then, of some kind of revenge, murder, thriller, right? And they're fighting or whatever, I wouldn't do this thing where one of the women is like taking out of one's face and putting it into, you know, the printing machine, the copy machine, and then they're printing out her face, and then it's like this weird thing how they're fighting and it's so over dramatized. But it's also like this weird, like, you know, like Stooges slapstick comedy when they fight. Because now she's actually like printing her face onto the machine. Or comes out. Yeah, and her face goes out and she's all bruised up. It's just like, why is it doing anything for? I don't understand. I've never seen this before. This is worse. I mean, Bollywood and so on as well, but this is so overkill. It's just like, I read someone saying that it might be self-aware or something, but I don't know. It's like, again, this is supposed to be a drama show, so why is this like she's beating her face into the printing machine, sort of printing it, and she's like, I got your face beaten up, bitch. Basic premise is that she slept with your husband or whatever, so on. Yeah. So you know how it goes. Let's go to the next show. Favorites. So this woman is a nun, of course. The cultures here, right? If you didn't know, the Philippines is of course Catholic, right? So it doesn't surprise me that they have, of course, a Catholic team and so on. But this, of course, I showed the video early in the video. I think it's just hilarious because this kid here, then, right, has like questioned the fate of Christianity or whatever, right? And the nun is like, okay, tell me that God is real or something, or else, right? But this is what I think is so fun too, because, you know, it's like, you know, over dramatized. It's so over dramatized, right? So the girl's like, but Astrid said nothing wrong, right? So basically, she's like questioning her, and, you know, basically it's being kind of like a smart ass kid, right? And the nun is just like, apologize. And I was like, you will rot in hell! Like, like, what is this show? This is like, she's like, I don't know, a kid 12 or something, and you have a nun like, you will rot in hell! I didn't add the red thing. It's in the show. Yeah, I did not add the red filter. No, that's in the TV show. I love this show. They're so crazy over the top, man. This little girl is like, oh, but is it really smart doing that thing? And a nun is like, you will go to hell, kid. It's like, what? What? I just. But the funniest thing, though, or actually the best thing is actually kind of comedic. Because not a girl. Okay, the girl now just counters her, right? The little girl is like, isn't that a concept? He just burns her. It's hilarious. She's just like, I don't believe in hell. This is a concept of mine or something. And then she's like, no! In this show, Lisa, this girl called Lisa here. So in this show, I mean, they're all the same. So in this show here, this girl, she's best friends with her own sister, well, her half-sister, because her husband has, like, he went to war or something. That doesn't make no sense, because I don't think the Philippines was in a war at the time. The Philippines support, like, World War II, so but honestly, that doesn't make any sense either, because it's like, her father, because, you know, it's a dad, you know, he has 2 daughters, right, the exact same age, right, yeah. Her father was, like, injured or something in a war that never happened, but whatever, I digress, but I don't think Philippines were at the war at the time. But, so, he has 2 daughters, right, and now he's, like, I don't know, he's somehow, they don't know about that, but, like, one of the moms is, like, a maid or something, or, you know, like a nurse, so she takes care of both of them, and they're besties or something. It's very confusing, right? But now, the other mom, right, or someone, she knows the truth or something. She wants to kill this girl, like, straight up. Like, I'm not even kidding. She wants to murder this, like, teacher. And I think she's either one of the moms, or she is, like, a third woman that was sleeping with him or something. But anyway, she's trying to kill this girl with the escalator, like, straight up, okay? She tricks her to go up here. So she's, like, plotting, right, when the mom was buying stuff. She's, like, talks her. And she's really, yeah, it's very dramatic, this show, because this is her teacher, right, trying to, like, you know, off her, right, yeah, so, of course, the girl trusts the teacher, because, you know, she's like a little kid, right, she trusts the teacher, so, yeah, it's very sinister. For that reason, she gets stuck between the escalator, run up to save her, but you might think this should be it, right, you might think that, yeah, this is like Filipino drama, so, of course, the kid's gonna cry, and mom will save her, and, you know, that's probably what you do, if it's like a Swedish television, right? A Swedish television drama, the kid will be after crying, evil teacher, mommy, stepmom, whatever, trying to kill you, right? Okay, fine. Mom saves you, and then it's like, who did this about goat, right? That's probably what happened in '79, but I'm growing up in a Swedish television, you know? It would be a bit dramatic, but no one actually would get hurt, right? But in the Filipino show. But now, we are in Filipino land, though. So, of course, mom trips and, like, dies. Like, this is crazy, this television, right? Like I said, I think in most other countries, right, you would have like, oh yeah, you know, the evil teacher tried to kill his head. But here instead, the mom goes up and she trips down all the stairs, and there's blood everywhere. And of course, she doesn't die from this thing, right? You know, it's a television thing. She goes to the coma or something, or she's perfectly fine next episode, of course she is. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's like a death scene, and her daughter started up screaming. She's like, Mom! And everyone's like panicking, and then of course it's probably fine, and you know, the evil twin or whatever comes back in the episode. But it's like, this is so overkill. This is what they seem to have this thing though, that they seem to be really into physical stuff. Yeah, like I showed you earlier, right? You see when they were fighting about husband and betrayal or so on, that they were like pushing her face into the printer. Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, it is like they seem to be very, very hardcore on actual like physical slapstick comedy, I guess. Yeah, well, like physical stuff. But that's probably why it looks so comedic to me, right? That's why the Filipino looks so comedic, because it's like, my God, why is it incredibly physical, right? Like the mom here falls down all the acid stash, right? And it's like blood, she's hitting her head and there's blood on the ground and all. I'm covering it by my camera, but it's just like, my God, it looks so incredibly brutal, right? But because it's so brutal every time, it also looks almost like it's supposed to be a comedy or a parody, because it's. They also got the thing with this combined English and Filipino time. So yeah, they can this thing too where she speaks first, you know, in Filipino. And then she's like, biatch! Right? And it's funny too that they changed it a lot. Earlier I showed you the dub though. Yeah, earlier that was the actual dub, right? When grandpa was like, women are inferior. Yeah, that was grandpa being an old mean man, right? But this girl is just like, she's going back and forth. It's a lot actually, especially with Ivy. They go back and forth between. I feel like they're basically talking in English, right? Or should I? It's more like they are talking in Filipino, and then when they're gonna insult, it's like biatch, yeah, and then it's like the insults are in English, yeah. You effing biatch, like when they come in the insults, yeah. Then they're like English, yeah, English insult. But honestly, I love this show. I love White Flower. So here, mom, right, she's gonna like, you know, capture her boyfriend sitting on her. So she's waiting in the bed, you know, dressed up all nice in this afternoon dress, right? For the other woman sleep with her boyfriend, right? So she goes in, and she's like, oh shit. Yeah, now she's like, you bitch, and then she beats the crap out of her. And she's like, yeah, she's like, oh, like not even a little bit. Yeah, and these shows are crazy. These shows are crazy. I love this show. Yeah, and it's like a slap. No. Obviously Wildflower is the best one of them, but I just want to point out that she's not slapping her. No, she's like, it's an actual like fist. Yeah, she's like punching her, like smacks her, she's flat on the ground, and she like beats her. Like it's so. As I said earlier, it's so brutal. And we saw it. Yeah, they're so physical and brutal too. Yeah, it's like a straight punch on her face. Yeah, it's like, oh my god. But this is the best one though. It makes no sense, okay? I don't know what's happening. She's headbutting she headbutts his car. Like she goes down. I'm trying to understand these shows. They're crazy. She's depressed. You know, these shows are insane. She goes up and headbutts a car. The backstory is that it's all about these schemes. So her like lover or husband or whatever, right? He is like cheated on her, and now he told her he doesn't love her anymore, and she's better off dead or something, right? So she's just like, oh no, I'm losing my mind because I guess he's been gaslighting her. If I said it correctly, yeah, he's been gaslighted. So she's like, oh, I wanna die. She's going to headbutts a car. That's it. I mean, you shouldn't laugh at him, but I mean, it's just so stupid. That's why it's just like so clearly. Oh, like this is why I want to edit here, guys, on this scene here. She headbutts the car, because I mean, this is supposed to be fun, right? It's supposed to be super dramatic. This woman is betrayed by her lover, you know, for the 5th time or whatever, right? And she's all like, oh, I don't want to live anymore. You know, I want to delete myself. So she goes and tries to, you know, delete herself, right? But just because it's done in the like, dumbest way possible, where you're like, why are you headbutting a car for? Especially, I mean, it would be more or less if you headbutted a wall. I don't know. It's just, the whole thing is just so absurd. She goes out in the street and goes up to a car that's driving slowly, and it's like, ugh! You know what I mean? And it just looks hilarious. It looks like a, that's why it looks like a comedy, right? It looks like some kind of weird, but it's supposed to be like, this is what I mean, this show, all the shows, it is supposed to be like, you know, you're supposed to cry here. You're supposed to feel sad for her. That's, oh no, she's deleting herself because her lover, you know, cheated on her. It's supposed to feel sad for her. It's supposed to feel like her life is over, right? It's supposed to be like a very dramatic and a very like, you know, this is her last day alive. She's dead. Her death scene, or whatever, right? But instead of watching it, I'm just laughing. I'm just like, what is this thing? I don't understand. I looked at this before. I'm just like, what is happening? Why is she doing it this way? She flips and then she flips in this like weird. Yeah, it doesn't help, I guess. To be fair, though, I guess her flipping thing is probably the actor. Yeah, I don't know, but I also hear last guy. I think she's the head car, right? There's just like a weird car flip behind her. But that's probably because to do this in the Fast and Show, right? I think that the actor is obviously a stunt woman, right, doing the headbutting, and not the actual, you know, like actor in the show, right? Like a stunt double. So she's probably like doing a headbutt into some kind of, you know, like martial art or acrobatic, whatever, you know, like escape afterward, right? To not take any real damage, because she has to jump into the ground or into the pavement, right? Which is kind of hard. And I personally have, you know, I trained judo, whatever, for many years, so I know how to do the different rolls, like different falls, so on. And yeah, it hurts a bit unless you do it correctly, right? So I guess she's like flipping and she's doing a cartwheel, half somersault, flip or whatever afterwards. But that's probably because the actor or the stunt woman is trying to just, you know, have like a correct fall so she won't take damage from the pavement, right? But obviously it makes it even look even more funny because this random woman is like doing. She does like how weird, yeah, just like suddenly it becomes like the Matrix behind it. It makes it, but it's so bad. Like, couldn't they cut it that way or something? It also feels like it's really low editing. Couldn't they just remove that? Like, why is? I don't know. It makes it look even funnier that she's doing like a freaking Matrix movie afterwards. Anyway, guys, I think it was hilarious. Going down the Filipino rabbit hole. I might really watch more of it. I mean, I started watching, I said, Wildflower and finding other shows too. I like the noun. That was fun too, though. But this is what I mean too. I was like, still laughing at it. No, but I just think it's so hilarious because, you know, I just can't imagine, right? From like a culture standpoint, I can't. I mean, you just imagine a show in America, right? Like a show in America where the main character is like 12, 13, right? So like a Nickelodeon scene, like, That's So Raven or something. I don't know, but that's kind of how the show is, right? It's a girl in school, she's friends like Hannah Montana, something like that, right? And Hannah Montana then, or Miley Cyrus, right? Getting into a fight with her teacher, which happens in Hannah Montana. I haven't seen it actually, but I assume so. I have never seen it, but I assume so, right? And the teacher is like, "You going to fucking hell!" Yeah, bitch! Like, imagine that kind of scene. You just be like, what? Yeah, they would never be aired right in America. It would never be aired. The teacher is like, burn! Yeah, it's like, what? But here it's like normal. Yeah, it's like a random episode. Like the numbness is like, I will condemn you. It's like, what? I'm writing to the Pope. Yeah, it's like, what is this here? So these become hilarious. They became hilarious, guys. They're so extreme, okay? I say one difference with Bollywood. Bollywood is more like Bollywood are also very extreme, but they're extreme in a different way. Because Bollywood, I feel they're more extreme in the medical way. Like, have you seen the one where a guy is like, I don't know, talking to a girl and then like summons his car and they fly into the moon with the car? Like they're going off on a date or something and they just fly up into the sky and it's in the episode. And the next episode is back on Earth again. I don't know. That's Bollywood. Yeah, Bollywood I feel is more like this weird magic that's happening. It makes no sense, right? It has no bearing on reality. Or suddenly an elephant dancing behind us. Yeah, Bollywood is crazy in that way. But this here I feel is crazy in like extreme over dramatization and everything. Yeah, like the woman, the escalator and the kid is like, Mom! You know, yeah, it's like everything is just so incredibly overplayed. Yeah, everyone is like extremely overexcited for everything. But all that being said, my favorite scene might actually be back to the burial scene where mom is laughing. Yeah. Which is like, oh no, we actually do it! Just like laugh crying when her daughter's being buried alive and her grandpa stands next to her. Being, yeah, it's such a weird scene. It's such a weird scene. And otherwise, if you actually watch Wildflower, yeah, it's a lot of sexist quotes. Yeah, a lot of them. She gets R and so on. Of course it does, yeah. It's a lot of that, you know. Like some guy, you know, R's her and she has to kill him in revenge. And it's a lot of that, yeah. To know, I didn't show much here, of course, because of YouTube, but it is a lot of sexual stuff, of course. I mean, like I said, this woman here, right, is because her husband has been gaslighting her, right? Or boyfriend, yeah. Like, it's all up. It's another one, so like you sleep with a husband. Almost every goddamn show has like someone shitting on someone. So it's a lot of sexual stuff all the time. Of course, not even shown sometimes, of course, yeah. But very much that. But anyway, guys, I never done this kind of video before. If you like it, please subscribe, press the like button, right? I just saw the thing going viral like 2 days ago, and I went down and I started watching the shows, and it keeps going, man. It's addictive too, but and also it makes it funnier. That I don't understand what they're saying. Yeah, honestly, like they always make it better to me. When I watch one of these scenes, I'm just like, I don't speak Filipino, I know what they're saying, but it makes it even funnier. You try to understand. Like, I think she's angry because she slept with her wife or the lesbians. She's staring at that woman over there. Yeah, like it makes it even funnier when you try to reason out what's happening. But yeah, they're all played for real. That's the best part. They're all serious. They're all like deadly serious. It isn't supposed to be funny. Let's see here again. This is supposed to be a sad scene, where she headbutts and then does a matrix somersault after the car. That's supposed to be sad. It's really sad, I think. But anyway, I want to have you guys subscribe and have a great day.